Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Henriksen and today we're reviewing a little indie movie by the name of Alpha Rift. Now, I'd never heard of this movie until about a week ago. I saw a Facebook post about it, watched the trailer, felt intrigued, saw the movie out, gave it a watch. It's directed by Dan Lantz, who has a few low budget films under his belt, and the only name on the cast list most of you will have heard of is Henriksen, which is fine. One of the joys of discovering low budget, or in this case pushing micro budget movies, is also discovering new talent where you can then seek out their other work. In this one we have the aforementioned Lance Henriksen as Corbin, Dalla, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, as our hero Nolan, Rachel Nielsen as his friend Gabby, Philip N. Williams as Blades / Lord Dragsmere, who's our antagonist, Graham Wolfe as Vicars, Allyson Malandra as Kate, and rounding out the principal cast, Chris James Boylan as Pavlov, who in the movie is Lord Dragsmere's lackey, for lack of a better term. When watching the movie, it feels like the casting department had a list of actors they'd like to have in the film, but with the budget restrictions, Lance Henriksen was the only, and I'll use the inverted commas again, name actor that could feature. For example, Chris James Boylan instead of Thomas Dekker, Allyson Malandra instead of Christine Taylor, and Philip N. Williams instead of Michael Jai White. That isn't to say that these actors aren't worthy of their places on the cast. All three are great in their respective roles. It's more that you could picture if this was a bigger budgeted version, it would have Dekker, Taylor and White in these roles. We've seen them in roles like this before. It's their bread and butter almost. However, if the budget did restrict the casting agent to one name value actor only, as the Grail Knight in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade uttered, they have chosen wisely with Lance Henriksen, whose presence and voice provides a level of gravitas to the proceedings. And as an actor who has been prolific for decades, Henriksen has elevated many movies just with his mere presence, and Alpha Rift is no different. Transition! But what of the movie itself? Well, let's get negatives out of the way first. If you don't like low budget movies, because they are low budget movies, for reference, I have a friend who refuses to watch anything that's been shot in black and white, then this is not the film that will change your mind. The script is filled with cliches, both visual and verbal, with some of the lines being cringe-inducing. However, for some, including me, that can be part of the charm of these movies. That said, there is a paedophile line that is totally out of place in this movie. It's rather jarring compared to the tone of the rest of the film in general. It genuinely took me out of the suspension of disbelief required for fantasy films, and in my opinion that line should have been excised from the final cut. On top of that, the characters of Nolan and Gabby, our main protagonists, they switch between likeable and utter arsehole, being honest, frequently, which seems to be down to inconsistent characterization, and it genuinely does make it hard to actually root for the good guys at times. However, taking all of that, there are plenty of positives too. As mentioned previously, Lance Henriksen is always value for money, while Dalla, Rachel Nielsen and Philip N. Williams are definitely ones to keep your eye on for the future. If you see a project with their name attached to it, I would definitely recommend you at least check it out. Characterization aside of the main protagonists, the two actors are actually really enjoyable to watch for the most part. Within the movie as well, there are some fantastic, as much as I mentioned there are cliches galore, and a lot of the times, again, that can be the charm of these type of movies. There are some nice subversions. One is how the villain gets his own armor and weapon. That is a cool subversion and a piece of inspired script writing. While the voice modulating on Blades for when he becomes Lord Dragsmere is done really, really well. The location, whoever did the location scouting to get the prison cells for the training scenes, that location is perfect for what is being portrayed. And overall, there are some really great ideas in this movie, such as the premonition power of the helmet. Based on all of that, I would love to see what everyone involved could do with a bigger budget. For example, to the level of, say, a Superman and Lois on the CW production. At least, I think with the ideas that they had, they again were hampered and limited with the budget. But they've done a fantastic job within those limitations. I just would love to see what they could do with less restrictive limitations. I said earlier that some people are turned off by low or minuscule budget movies, especially for an action movie with CG effects, armoured costumes, etc. However, you can find hidden gems among those movies, such as The Fantastic Cross with Brian Austin Green. And this, Alpha Rift, is one of those movies. Sure, some of the effects are a little ropey and the acting isn't going to be nominated come awards season, but that adds to the charm. Not every movie needs to be top tier to be enjoyable, and thanks to the likability of the cast, the sheer fun you can see they are having, and the enthusiasm being shown, Alpha Rift is a fun way to spend 90 minutes. So sit back, enjoy the film for what it is, cliches and all. Oh, and Back in Your Cage, Demon Dickface, is an amazing one-liner. It's definitely one I will be using in real life whenever the need arises, should I need to pluck something from the ether to nail that killer statement. That is definitely being added to the lexicon in those instances. So, all that being said, Alpha Rift is a 3.5-star movie and you should definitely give it a chance. Stay tuned after the review for the trailer of the movie itself so you can get a feel for it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me on this review. Please like and share the video, subscribe to the channel and look out for more great videos in the coming weeks. Goodbye.
We're in. So get what you came for. Let's get the hell out of here.
Oh, this stuff must be priceless.
There are things in here you don't want to mess with.
Let me tell you a story. There were 4 noblemen, sworn guardians against the devil's apostles, pure evil souls that possess the bodies of mortal men. And the only way to stop them are 4 magic helmets with the power to open the rift between our world and purgatory. The Alpha Rift. It's a simple fairy tale.
But it's more than just the blood in your veins. You've been groomed for this your whole life, whether you knew it or not.
Sounds like you have it all worked out.
What if I told you the stories you grew up with were all true? Your father, that helmet, you. They're all connected.
Lovely.
Let's get started.
So long, suckers! I've always known that there was something deep down inside, more than just the memory of my father.
You have to feel what your body's telling you and go with it.
Time out.
There is no time out.
But I need a reset. What?
You are the heir of Geldemore!
Put on the helmet!
We tested you. We had to be sure
Sure of what?
that this is your destiny.
I like the sound of that. Let's do this!